Hello, I'm very excited to talk to you today about something that I'm actually very passionate about, which is alternative medicine. Growing up, my family rarely went to the doctor when we were sick or hurt. Most of the time, it was very minor, and my mom said that we could take care of whatever it was at home generally. And we ended up spending next to nothing too. This wasn't just because our mom was a nurse, but we did prefer an alternative use of healing over the conventional. And those are very hotly debated subjects, alternative medicine or conventional medicine. And while I don't believe that conventional medicine is wrong, I do think that alternative medicine is not given due credit for their success. Most of modern society is very closed to the possibility of using alternative medicine, but it's definitely on the rise. As I researched about this, I found three main reasons why more and more people are turning to alternative medicine. Those being that the cost is less, there's little to no side effects with alternative medicine, and it is over and over again proving to be successful. And I'm going to touch on each of those reasons briefly. First being the cost. Cost of alternative medicine is much less than conventional. Conventional medicine, it can be wonderful. I know. You get diagnosed, get a prescription, run to the pharmacy, pick up your drugs or antibiotics. But we all know that that isn't cheap. That is never cheap. According to a government statistic, $289.9 billion out of pocket money was spent on conventional medicine in 1 year. Dr. Chu, an HSC health researcher, said, with healthcare costs definitely continuing to outpace inflation and wage growth, more and more people will find conventional medicine unaffordable. More people will turn to CAM, which is complementary and alternative medicine, because they see it as an inexpensive alternative. People turning to alternative medicine due to the cost of conventional is not hard to believe when you see the statistics. That same government study showed that $33.6 billion out of pocket money was spent on alternative medicine the same year that $286.9 billion was spent on conventional. That's a big difference in cost. It's only a matter of time, I believe, before people can't even afford conventional healthcare anymore, and they're going to turn to alternative medicine. More and more people with that happening are going to find out that it is successful, and that leads to my next point. Alternative medicine has little to no side effects versus conventional. That is considered successful to many people, to not have side effects. 5.4 million people came to the ER in 1 year due to drug-related side effects, according to a statistic done by the American Drug Watch. There's definitely something wrong with that. For most diseases, conventional medicine will treat the symptoms alone, usually with drugs or surgery. And while sometimes I agree these steps are necessary, they can lead to long-term management with an improvement in symptoms, but at the cost of side effects, many times life-threatening, which often require more drugs. And due to those side effects from those drugs, it'll cause a person to have to take another drug to deal with those symptoms. And the cycle just goes on. And we don't need to be physicians to know that that isn't okay for our bodies. That can't be okay to take multiple drugs at one time. Alternative medicine, on the other hand, has a very different approach to treating illnesses or ailments. They seek to treat the root cause rather than just a symptom. And by doing so, they use naturally derived medicines that don't cause serious side effects, if any at all. Naturopathy, for instance, I grew up using that, uses natural medicines to build up the body with whatever mineral or tissues that we're lacking so that ultimately our bodies heal itself. Instead of just treating the symptom, the body can heal the root cause of it, and it takes the symptoms with it. And my last point is alternative medicine is successful whatever people say, it is successful. It has been proven again and again. There's a little girl, a few years back, it was on the news. This little girl, her name was Sarah, and she was diagnosed with cancer. She had a tumor on her neck, and her parents, they took her in for her first chemotherapy appointment, and the day after it, they're like, oh, wow, the tumor, it's definitely downsized a lot, and that's great, but they noticed something else. While it was killing the cancer, it was killing their little girl, and they didn't want that. They wanted the cancer gone, but they still wanted their little girl. They wanted her to be healthy. And so they quit the chemotherapy. They went to Europe to see an alternative medical doctor who was also a cancer nutritionist to see if they could treat her cancer in a different way. And just recently, about a year ago, her parents came out and said that she's cancer-free, which is awesome. And of course, there's other smaller issues that people deal with in day-to-day life that prove the success of alternative medicine. My sister-in-law used to get severe migraines every single week from the time she was in high school until she was in her 20s. Instead of just taking a prescription that dealt with the pain and her coping with the pain of the migraine, she went to a chiropractor who specialized in skull manipulation, which does sound kind of weird, but I guess it worked for her. And ever since that day, she has had only about 2 migraines. That was almost 7 years ago. That is success. There are so many thousands of stories like these about the success of acupuncture, chiropractic work, aromatherapy, massage therapy, and there's a host of other alternative healing treatments. While I'm not against conventional medicine, I'm very for alternative medicine. And there's definitely a time and place for conventional, and I'm blessed to live in a country where I can choose either or. I have the option of both. But I do strongly think that modern society should be open to the possibility of alternative medicine and seriously look into it, research more about it. What is it that's really holding people back from using it? Why are people so hesitant to use a form of medicine that's cost-effective, little to no side effects, and it is proving itself to be successful all the time? I have to agree with Vinoy Fight, a writer about books about using essential oils in your everyday life, when she said, I believe that for every illness or ailment known to man, God has a plant out there that will heal it. We just need to keep discovering the properties for natural healing. And I leave you with the question, if we're teaching kids in schools, if society is teaching our children in school that anything is possible, then why are we shutting out the possibility of alternative medicine? Thank you.